So now we are at riser number 8. This riser, as you can see, is going to be going down, and it's also going to have a branch leading up. First, we're going to go model the lower side of it. First, I'm going to create a section. Right here, click, and just create a horizontal section. Then I'm going to also make this section a little tighter so that it covers this pipe. And then I'm going to right click on it, then go to view. Now here I'm going to right click, select draw pipe, then go down at 45 degrees. And then I'm going to draw this pipe straight down. Now let's go take a look at it in the plan. And it looks like we're going to have to reposition it a little bit and bring it to the right. But it looks like we can select it by dragging, and the reason is the view range. So let's hit VR. And if you remember, we said that everything between the bottom and the view depth can't be selected by being dragged over. So let's make the bottom -1500. And now if we drag, we can see that the items are selected and we can move them to the right. And there we go. Now let's also draw the branch for this side. First, I'll create a section, click and click. So we're just going to place a vertical section on here. And I'm going to also make this section tighter. Now right click on it and go to view. Now I'm going to get the pipe command PI, then make a click here at 45 degrees. Also make sure the slope is up, then draw straight to the right, then again up at 45 degrees, and then straight all the way up. Now here I'm going to select this T fitting and move it up, or as far as it goes. And I'm going to also bring this elbow lower to bring it closer to the other one. Now I'm going to go to the View tab, select Tile Views, so we could see the section and the floor plan view both at the same time. Now I'm going to drag over these fittings to select them, and in the section I'm going to have to move them to the left, and in the plan they would be going down. So I'm going to continue moving them to the left until this pipe is adjacent to the beam, and just basically fix its position so that it doesn't interfere with anything. Now we're going to check later what's going to be happening to this pipe later further up. But for now, we're going to check its path downwards. So I'm going to first go over to the riser diagram, and I'm going to look for and find riser number 8. We were working on the ground floor, where you can see that risers number 4 and 10 are connected to it, and then the riser goes down to the second basement. Then over there in -2 level, it eventually connects to the city sewage. So we're going to go into this section and first go to the View tab, select Tab Views, and then I'm going to stretch the bottom of the section all the way down to -level 2. Basically, we just want to be able to see the second basement. So that's going to be to here, this level. Now I'm going to select this pipe and stretch it all the way down into the second basement. Now let's head into the -2nd basement's floor plan, and also we saw that in the riser diagram, the pipe was supposed to end there. So the riser is located here, and as for the rest of this path, we can see that it says in this level, this riser number 8 goes further down. So there's a new contradiction here. Let's double check the riser diagram. This one says that in basement number 2, this riser ends and connects to the city sewage. And now let's go double check in -3 level, where we can see that the riser is continuing this way, and then it changes directions at some point, and then connects to the city sewage. So in fact, that means that the end of this riser and its connection to the city sewage is happening in -3rd level. So you see, if we go into the -2nd level, or the second basement, we would be actually seeing the sanitary pipes modeled in -3's ceiling. So we don't have anything here for now, but I'm going to go into the -3rd level and check in the directions notes and see that it says the pipe needs to be modeled in the -3rd. So this pipe has been modeled in the 3rd basement ceiling, but it's no different from the riser diagram because here it says in the ceiling. In fact, if we also take a look at -2nd, we can see that the pipes are supposed to be modeled under the ceiling of the lower level. So we don't have any contradictions, and because I can see the plan in -3rd, I'm just going to start modeling here. First, I'll create a 45-degree section, then I'm going to make this section tighter, right click on it and go to view. So you see we're going to be modeling this pipe or riser under the ceiling of the third basement. So that means that I'm going to have to continue drawing this pipe around here. This right here is the negative second, and down here is under the ceiling of the third. So I'm going to right click, draw pipe, then make sure slope is down, draw downwards at 45 degrees, and then straight to the left. We do have enough room to bring this pipe higher, so we're going to move it up to under the first beam in the way. Now let's head back to the floor plan, where we're supposed to see this pipe under its ceiling. But once again, we can't because of the view range. So let's hit VR, and for now we're going to make the top offset 0. Then click OK. We just did that so that we could see this pipe for now, and the pipe is also linked here. Now I'm going to select the pipe, right click on it, select draw pipe, and make sure the slope is down, and we're going to draw to here, click. But also notice how the size is going to be changing from here. So let's check to see exactly at which point it happens, and then fix the diameter. Now let's draw all the way down here, and from here it's going to be connecting to the city sewage. Now the diameters here are all 125, but here we can see that there is a pipe with diameter 110 coming in, and then it changes to 125. Let's also check in the upper level. In -2, once again we have 110, and in -1, once again we can see the pipe's diameter is 110. So the only part where the diameter of this pipe changes is below the ceiling of the final level, and it becomes 125. So right click on this section, go to view, and we're going to start from here. Hold the control key, select these pipes and fittings, and then I'm going to go back to the plan to select the rest of the pipe by still holding the control key, and then I'm going to change all of their diameters to 125. Let's go double check inside this section. Right click, go to view, and as you can see we've got a transition here because the plan states that this pipe is coming in with diameter 110, and it only changes to 125 from below the ceiling. So far we've started our modeling with the drawing of the risers. We actually started from riser number 2, then we had to finish riser number 1, and then we got to the subsequent risers. And we also had to finish some other risers simultaneously until we've reached riser number 8. This riser number 8 goes upwards, and I've drawn the lower side of it from here, and now it's going to be going up to the first level, and it also changes directions below the ceiling of that first level. So I'm going to go over here to the ground floor, and I'm going to also close the extra views, and the pipe's going to be going up from here. So let's go inside the section, and I'm going to stretch this section from the top, and then I'm going to also stretch this pipe all the way up to below the ceiling of the first floor. I'm going to also go past the mid first. Now I'm going to go into the mid first floor plan to see which way the rest of the pipe goes. Now to be able to find the pipe easier, I'm going to go back into the section, select it, then go back to the floor plan, and we can see it here. So as you can see, it changes directions at 45 degrees, and then it goes up to the upper level. So it seems like we're going to have to create a 45-degree section along this line, and we're going to also make this section tighter. Right click on it and go to view. So right here, I'm going to select this pipe, right click on it, select draw pipe, then make sure the slope is up, then draw at 45 degrees, then straight to the right. Now let's continue drawing the rest of the pipe, and then we're going to check its elevation. Now you can see that our pipe is coming into here, so we're going to right click on it, select draw pipe, and we're going to stretch it all the way here, from which point it ends and goes up. Now let's go into that 45-degree section we made, and first I'm going to stretch it from the side. Then I'm going to go over here, right click on it, select draw pipe, go up at 45 degrees, and then draw upwards. We're just going to go up to a random amount. Now I'm going to also close the extra views, then keep the negative first and the section. Now I'm going to go to the view tab, select tile views, so we can see both views simultaneously. The first thing we're going to have to do here is that we're going to need to reposition this pipe a little bit. Let's also take a look in the plan. First, I'm going to bring these two elbows closer together, and then I'm going to drag to select them both and the pipe between them, and then I'm going to move them to the left in section, but in the plan they would be going backwards at 45 degrees. And there we go. If we also want to check it elevation-wise, it seems like it's coming in at a proper elevation, and it ends here. Now, if we go back in this section and take another look, we can see that we've got a mid-first level inside our first floor. We have the first level itself here, and the middle of it up here. Now, this mid-floor isn't inside the whole project, but we have it here. So, in fact, I'm going to have to select this whole pipe and bring it lower until it is going from under the ceiling of the first floor. That's because technically there isn't a mid-first floor, so this is the right way to go. I'm going to also drag this pipe and bring it lower. Now, if we go into the second floor plan, we can check and see if what we've done is right. So in the second floor, we can see that at this point here, we've got this riser number 8 coming in, and then it continues in these directions. So I'm going to go into this 45-degree section, right-click, go to View, and then here we can see the second floor, under which we've got this pipe. So we're going to right-click on it, select Draw Pipe, then go up at 45 degrees, make sure the slope is up, then continue drawing the pipe straight to the right. Now let's go back to the second floor, and we can see the pipe. Now I'm going to drag this pipe and move it backwards, then right-click on it again, select Draw Pipe, make sure the slope is up, then draw straight upwards. We're going to go all the way up to riser number 8, where once again it changes directions, click and click. Now, along this pipe's way, we've also got some sanitary pipes, which are related to this restroom area, all of which will be connected to this riser. So here I'm going to enable Inherit Elevation, Slope Up, then click on this pipe, draw at 45 degrees, then all the way to the right. This pipe will be finished later on. The same thing goes for this pipe as well, this branch. So once again, Inherit Elevation, click on the pipe, and then I'm going to continue drawing at 45 degrees, and have it be finished later. Now in the next step, we're going to have to check the elevation of this pipe all the way through its path. So I'm going to create a vertical section over this pipe. Then we're going to make it tighter, right click on it, then go to View. Now as you can see over here, we've got this pipe interfering with this beam. So we're going to have to select the pipe and bring it lower a little bit to resolve that interference. And as for this part, the elevation of the pipe seems to be fine. Now let's go back to the floor plan, and we've also drawn the branches for the pipe. And then at this point, the riser once again is going to be going up. Let's go double check that in the riser diagram. Let's go find riser number 8. And so far in the second floor, we've drawn these branches, then changed the direction. And then we're going to be going up to below the ceiling of the third floor. Once again, in this level, we've got another change in direction, and again another branch. So I'm going to go over here, and first create a 45-degree section. Then I'm going to also make the section tighter. And before I go in it, I'm going to close the inactive views. And now I'm going to head into the section, right-click on it, go to View. And then I'm going to also go up to the View tab, select Tile Views, so I could see the floor plan and the section simultaneously. Now I'm going to go into the section and draw the rest of the pipe, right-click, Draw Pipe, go up at 45 degrees, then straight up. We're just going to stop at a random point. Now this pipe needs to be moved backwards a little, so I'm going to go back in the section, drag over the two elbows and the pipe between them to select them all, then move them to the right, and in the plan, in fact, they will be moving backwards. So we're just going to stop here. Now let's go over to the third floor. There we've got another change in direction and another branch connecting to the riser. So let's go see how we can draw that. Now if we go in the third floor and take a look at riser number 8, it's not going to be going any further up, and the branch connected to it is actually for this restroom area. Let's go double check in the riser diagram. Here in the third floor, we've got a branch to the riser, and it also goes up. And then over in the fourth floor, we've got sanitary pipes connected to it. So first I'm going to draw the branches for the pipe in this floor plan. And I'm gonna also create a 45-degree section. And then when we get to the 4th floor, we're gonna double check again to see if there's been a mistake or not. Now I'm gonna make the section tighter, then right click on it and go to view. So here we are in the 3rd floor below the ceiling. So right click and draw pipe, then go up at 45 degrees, make sure the slope is up, and then draw straight to the right. Now let's head back to the floor plan, and to draw the rest of it, we're gonna right click, select draw pipe, and also make sure the slope is up, then draw straight to the right. So right here in the section, first I'm going to bring these two elbows closer together. The riser diagram said that this pipe is going to be going up, so we shouldn't bring these two elbows so close to make the room tighter for a T-fitting. But let's keep it as it is for now. And in this section, first I'm going to stretch it from the side, and I'm going to also make sure I only have the 3rd floor plan. Then go to the View tab, select Tile Views to see them both simultaneously. Now I'm going to select these elbows and the pipe between them and move them backwards. Basically, I just want to make it as similar as possible to the plan. So we're going to stop here because we can't go further. Now as for the rest of the pipe, if there is any problem, we could fix that in the plan. Now I'm going to select the floor plan, go to the View tab, then click on Tab Views. Now let's go see what happens in the 4th floor. So right now in the 3rd floor plan, right around the horizontal grid number 7, we've got the pipe at the southeast of this column. Let's go to the 4th floor, grid number 7, and you see we no longer have the riser here. So that means that this riser number 8 doesn't go any further up. Whereas over here in the riser diagram, it says that riser number 8 extends to below the ceiling of the 4th floor. So this right here is a contradiction that we've just spotted. So for that, I'm just going to go over here, then I'm going to go up to the Annotate tab and place a revision cloud. And then in the comments field, I'm going to type riser to 4th floor. I'm going to also add a question mark at the end, but you could write whatever you want. And now I'm going to click on the green check mark to confirm and have this comment be checked in the meetings. So far this riser number 8 has also been finished all the way down to where it's going to be connecting to the city sewage. Now to check all of the risers that we have placed and drawn, we're going to once again check the mid-1st floor. And you see here we have a pipe which we've rectified its elevation, and I feel like we're going to need to check it again. So I'm just going to go into this section, right click, go to View, and you see this pipe can't be placed over here in the mid-1st floor, and it needs to be below the ceiling of the 1st. So I'm just going to select the pipe, and before I do anything, I'm going to double check its path over in the mid-1st floor, and as you can see, the pipe is coming in, and then here we have the riser connected to it. Let's also check that out. I'm going to create a 45-degree section along it, and then we're going to draw the rest of this pipe and change its direction. Now I'll make the section tighter, right click on it and go to View. Now let me also stretch the section from the bottom so we can see more of the plan. And you see here is that mid-1st floor, then we have the 2nd floor above it, and below it the 1st floor. Now the mid one goes up to here, which is actually where we've got this pipe. So the mid-1st is around here. Also, there aren't any pipes connected to it around this part because the offset of this ceiling is different from this one's. So in fact, this pipe is supposed to go under the ceiling of the 1st floor. So let's go back in this section, and I'm going to drag over this pipe to select it. And then I'm going to go over to this section right over here. And then I'm going to hold the control key and drag over this fitting, holding the control key and selecting the other pipe and the other fittings, then bring them all lower to below the ceiling of this 1st floor. Now we do have a branch connected to this pipe over here, which is what this error is related to. So let's go double check that branch, and you see I have lowered the pipe, so I'm going to have to take a look in the ceiling of the 1st floor. And we've lowered the pipe to here, And here is this branch that we saw. So the elevation of this branch has been messed up. This branch was in fact over in the second floor. So let's go double check. And as you can see, we've got this fitting over here from which the pipe changes direction. And now I'm going to go back to the first floor, then create a 45-degree section along this pipe. Then I'm going to make the section tighter. Right click on it and go to view. So as you can see, the elevation of this pipe has been messed up. So I'm just going to select this elbow and bring it lower. Then once again, we're going to have to go back to the section, and I'm going to drag over these elbows to select them. Hold the control key, drag over these fittings as well and the pipe between them. Then I'll go back to section number 1, which is actually the larger section that we had. Then hold the control key again, select these pipes as well. And then I'm going to go back to that last section that I created, which is section number 13, and also select these elbows and the pipe between them. Now I'll go back to section 1, and then I'm going to lower the elevation of all of those selected pipes like so. Let's also check for interferences and stop here. So this way we have fixed the elevation of these pipes in the first floor, and in fact that mid-first floor was where we had the problem with this pipe, where because of the change of elevations in said pipe we couldn't draw the rest of it. So we just rectified what we had in the mid-first floor. If we also take a look over here, this pipe is in the second floor, as well as these pipes across from it. Let's go double check in the second floor. Here's the pipe that we've drawn, and there's also this pipe on the side. So the reason why we were seeing those pipes in the mid-first floor was actually because of the view range.